A dramatic island landscape, breathtaking scenery, roads with more twists and turns than a roller coaster. It can only be Corsica. For the first time in its history, the Intercontinental Rally Challenge prepares for the ultimate tarmac test on Corsican stages. This event is legendary and is known as the Rally de 10,000 virages, the rally of 10,000 corners. And it's not hard to see why. For Peugeot UK's Guy Wilkes and Phil Pugh, this will be their first attempt at the Tour de Corse. What do they think of Corsica so far?
I've been here once before in 2001, although I didn't compete, and it's a spectacular island, you know, fantastic scenery. That doesn't help you with negotiating the roads though, so it's very intense, you know, in terms of a rally. It's one of the classic rallies, and it is a classic rally for the reason that it is so intense. I think a snake's designed the roads, to be honest. It's just corner after corner after corner. Bravery is one of the biggest things on this island. Commitment to your pace notes as well.
The rally travels over a great distance, taking in stages to the north, the east and the midwest of the island. That means the boys have covered some serious distance on the recce. Exhausting stuff.
You hear all the stories before you come here about Corsican roads, and until you experience them on the recce, you know, we've had 3 runs over them, and still you think, you know, have we got everything bolted down? I've been over the notes 4 or 5 times now, and I still going to have another 2 looks at least.
We just got to get stuck in, really. I mean, this first stage it's tricky. It's not easy, but you know, that's nothing that we haven't been used to before. Got to get stuck in, a couple of good times, get our confidence on these roads, and you know, you never know what can happen.
After 3 days of recce, it's now time for the rally action to get underway. 2 stages take place on Thursday afternoon in Calvi, the same stage run twice, on a coastal road with sheer drops to the ocean below. Peugeot is not only well represented within the competitive field here, but they are also running as the Zero car through the event. There is a very special driver in the Zero car itself, legendary Finnish World Rally champion Ari Vatanen. So what did he have to say about the Peugeot 207 he was driving?
Very steady, very nimble, very good for young men and for old men like myself.
Guy and Phil will run third on the road through the 27 kilometres of stage 1. They were 5th fastest through, but it wasn't quite plain sailing, as Guy explains.
Immediately we did what we didn't want to do, which was make a mistake about 8Ks in. We had a little spin, and you can't let it be frustrating to you in the stage. We just knew we had to get going. The spin in the stall, facing the wrong direction, and we definitely lost the time to Brian there. So, but it's good to know that we're close.
Service done, and it's time to return to the stage they completed earlier for a rerun. Second time round, they were 13 seconds quicker and lie in 6th position overall. Even though the stages are over for the day, the team will keep working as they dismantle the service park, ready to shift base to Corte for Friday. Hard work for all, as Mark van Dalen explains.
We are here with 4 cars, so it's a lot of people around. They wake up very early in the morning, they go sleep very late at night, so it's very difficult. But this is our job. We are professional. We like this job. We have the patience, and the patience gives you the power, so it's okay. The most important is the driver here, because it's very difficult for them to keep the right rhythm. And I think the secret of this rally is the rhythm. Even if you want to push more, you have to think about that. And it's exactly what Guy was doing today, in a clever way. And this is experienced driver, I'm sure. It's very important to be like this here.
The crews leave Calvi at 7 a.m. on Friday morning for the drive to Corte. It's an early start. So is Guy a morning person?
The only time I like getting up early is for rallies. I hate mornings.
I don't mind the morning. I got four young kids, so they're up and jumping on the bed at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, so I'm used to it. It's going to be a really long day up early, 5:30, and you know, I think we've got like 120, 130 Ks to do tomorrow, so yeah, it's a big challenge.
Day 2 of the Tour de Corse. The competing crews leave the coastal town of Calvi in the early hours to head into the mountains around the town of Corte to the east of the island. Peugeot UK pair Guy Wilkes and Phil Pugh are in 6th position overall going into the day's stages. Fellow Peugeot 207 driver Thierry Neuville leads the rally. The opening stage runs over 25 kilometres and of course incorporates all the twists and turns this rally is famous for. Guy and Phil are certainly up for the fight, setting a blindingly quick time on the opening stage. It's the fastest time through and means they are now up to 3rd overall.
I had a good start this morning, but it's a long day today, so we need to stay focused and get a good rhythm like we had the first one. It felt quite good. The car was not perfect, but not far away, so we'll see if we can keep it up with this one.
On the start line of stage 4, the boys prepare for the 23 kilometres ahead. But just 5 k's before the end of the stage, their Tour de Course adventure comes to an abrupt end, with the Peugeot UK crew having to retire from the event. Back in the Corte service area, Guy tells us what happened.
Out of one right corner, a very fast sequence of corners, I decided that it would be okay to brake when I could see the corner. And really I should have braked on the exit of the corner immediately, and that was the difference. It was only maybe not even 10 metres that I braked too late. Unfortunately we slid wide and there was a very steep bank, only a small bank but a very steep bank, and the car just rocked over with the back wheels and it dragged the front down, and unfortunately we couldn't get the car out.
No damage, but just no spectators there, and it was just too steep to push the car out, so that was the end of it, I'm afraid.
Two strong boys, couldn't you give it a go?
We had a look, but we'd rode over a little bit of a tree stump, and that wouldn't have helped trying to get it out, so no, it was best trying to just slow everybody down before anybody else landed on top of us.
The first stage we drove pretty good. I mean, we didn't honestly think that we would have the scratch time, the best time, and it was quite a surprise, and we tried to take the same approach in the next stage, and right from the start of the stage it was quite obvious that the feeling wasn't the same. I think that perhaps it could have been the tyres. It just seemed like they weren't getting up to temperature, and that knocked my confidence. And when we got to the first split, which is approximately 10 kilometres in, we were 3 down on people we should have been ahead, and I tried to make something happen. I tried to force it, and ultimately we pushed very hard, and okay, I know we made some time back in the next section, but it was through trying hard, not through driving well.
We won together, we lost together. They proved all the weekend they were on the pace, they were very good. He's a very honest guy because he immediately called me and said this is my mistake, and we really appreciate all the team is behind them, and we will win the next rally with him, I'm sure.
Okay, we're disappointed, but we can't have our heads down for too long. We must look forwards, and we've not had a bad start to the championship this year, a 3rd and a 5th. Disappointing, like I said, an opportunity here where we were up to 3rd and could have perhaps scored on the podium. There's a long way to go still in the rally, but yeah, we have to make sure that we're here for the team. You know, they've been here for us, and we'll be there for them, definitely.
At the end of day 2 here in Corsica, it's Thierry Neuville in a Peugeot 207 who leads the event, with a 23.4 second advantage over Jan Kopecky, with Freddie Loix in 3rd. Now the crews head to the port of Ajaccio for the overnight halt, before the final day gets underway. Yesterday it was disappointment for Peugeot UK pair Guy Wilkes and Phil Pugh as they retired from the 3rd round of the Intercontinental Rally Challenge, the Tour de Course.
Extremely gutted, and somebody's just pointed out it's Friday the 13th, so yeah, bad omens all round.
We came here to try and have a consistent rally, and it's we didn't do that, to be quite honest.
As the 3rd and final day of competition gets underway, it's time to turn their attention to the guests that Peugeot UK have brought out to the rally. We head with them to stage 10 to watch some rally cars in action.
We've got some fleet guests over here. It's important to show them, you know, what rallying's about, and to give them a good time. As you can see, the atmosphere is building before the cars are due to arrive any minute now. And there's a lot of people up here. It's great to see so many people, you know, coming to spectate on a small island rally, really. It's quite a tricky stage, very fast section all the way to this junction. Then the stage really does change in nature. Very high speed section down at here, some heavy braking, a square junction left, and it drops through a couple of hairpins down the hill.
The guests soon get to work quizzing Guy and Phil on the many aspects of rallying.
Do you talk ahead or do you...
Just depends on the speed.
Yeah.
If it's a slow section, then you'll just be ahead.
You can do it different ways. So some people will say a fast corner is a 6th gear. I actually say it's a 1 because I grade mine. Obviously, the more severe, the higher the number.
Even though their rally is over, Phil still can't get out of co-driver mode.
He's 2 seconds down on Buffet, and that's the local guy, Campana, so he needs to pull his finger out, doesn't he? The rally watch of choice is a Casio F91W.
How long have you had this little baby?
This baby came from Argos, and it's about $8.99, and it's probably lasted 3 years so far.
The boys are keen to watch the progress of their Cronus teammate, Thierry Neuville, who leads the rally in a Peugeot 207 Super 2000.
He's done a fantastic job so far, and have the team, you know, they've had no problems, and Thierry's drove fantastically well. He has actually lost, I think, 8 seconds in the first stage to Jan Kopecky. The gap has now come down to about 14 seconds. So I'm sure he will be a little bit anxious, but I hope it doesn't affect his driving and he keeps his head. His pace has been very good the whole rally.
It's hot work out on the stages, and the boys make sure they use plenty of sun cream to protect their delicate skins. Luckily for the boys, ice creams are speedily delivered to cool them down. Instead of stage updates from Guy, we get a flavour analysis instead.
I think this is actually better than mint chocolate chip.
After stage 10 is complete, it's time to head off for some lunch at a rather picturesque location. The boys are obviously disappointed with what happened yesterday, but are now looking forward to the next event in the Ukraine.
It's always better to be in the car than watching the action, especially when we should have been competing this weekend again. But yeah, absolutely looking forward to the Ukraine. It's a new event for everyone, so level playing field, and just want to get back in the car.
In terms of knowledge of the event, what do you know of it from what people have said? Have you ever been there before, Phil?
No, not a lot. I think we're going to have to do a bit of Google Earthing, I think, and track the stages and have a look and try and get some more information before we turn up.
It's a lovely sea behind you, Phil. Quick dip.
I think we may.
As Guy and Phil skip happily into the sunset, the rally is drawing to a close here in Corsica, and Thierry Neuville goes into the final stage holding a lead of 13.8 seconds. His committed drive and pace have paid off, and he seals his maiden IRC win in a Peugeot 207 Super 2000 here in Corsica. Join us next time as Guy and Phil head to the Ukraine for Peugeot UK for the 4th round of the Intercontinental Rally Challenge.